when you have an athlete that's in prep, they've done their show, and they're coming out of prep, what do you do as far as a refeed or to bring them back? Or likewise, if they got another show, say in 2 weeks, they just continue on. What kind of checks do you do, or maintenance checks if they're continuing on, or how do you bring them back, such as a refeed or
Mhm.
from a long prep?
Well, if we already know they're doing, or if they got a string of shows we're doing, especially like a pro athlete who has already a lineup of shows that they're looking at, we've already talked about, planned it out. I would have already decided what they were probably going to do in terms of a refeed post show or a cheat meal they can get, depending on the time we have allotted and knowing what we
Mhm.
were going to have to do and change into that next show. So they'll already have at least know like what their limitations are even after they get off the stage. So that way we can kind of better plan, better fit if we know they got upcoming shows that we're going to be getting ready for it. Or if I have a client who does a regional show who's qualified for nationals and we already plan on doing a national based show, then of course they'll get the instructions usually that weekend, knowing that basically this is kind of what our, we're going to stick in these parameters in terms of what we're going to be able to eat. And then that way we can jump back into the routine and things like and keep things rolling strong for us. And I know sometimes, of course, it depends on how much time we have too. If it's less than if it's 2 weeks from when you get off stage till the next, probably not going to allow a lot. Maybe just a little bit of a cheat meal that night after or night of the show itself after you get done with family and friends. Then, of course, Sunday is back to the normal base again. That way we get back into it, get your body back in the rhythm again. Now, for the people who, of course, who say is not continuing the show, that basically is, we've already talked about it and we made a decision that, hey, we're just doing this show and stuff. Well, the biggest thing now is making sure they get out of where they're in terms of metabolism, that's going to be already suppressed and low from the extensive time of prepping, having low calories, having tons of the activity in terms of the level of activity, whether they're doing a lot more cardio or just the training itself, and allowing their body to kind of reset it slowly to where it kind of balance back out. A lot of people don't understand too, whenever you're doing a show and you get off that stage, your metabolism is not going to be as strong as it was, prior to getting ready for the show. So we have to give it a chance to bounce back, and the body will adjust over time because it's all about homeostasis. But you can't just throw it all into the whole mix and expect your body's just going to, reuptake everything you take in food wise, and it's going to handle.